I am Sonia Bharadwaj. I am a human resource professional. Till the day I am having 14 plus years experience while serving as a HR manager in various industries or companies. So, firstly, I would like to greet you on the eve of New Year. I'm wishing a very happy New Year to all, especially my subscribers and my viewers, and to all of you. And hopefully, this year will give a lot of prosperity and progress in your professional path. So let's begin today. As my very first topic in this 2024 is about canteen management in the industries and the factory. So because one of my video which I have made in about canteen management in factory, it has been viewed by many viewers. So I would like to give them thanks. So I thought that I must begin this year with this topic. So this is the very first video and very first topic for this new year 2024. So let's begin. First of all, let's know what is the meaning of canteen. Okay. So a store in which food, drink and small supplies are sold. That is a canteen. Or a restaurant like facility provided by an organization uh, in such like a factory or a college or an office, right? So canteen facilities are the statutory requirements. So in which act the uh, the uh, directions in regarding to canteen management or canteen operation has been described? Yes, as far as the labor law is concerned, under section 7A of Factory Act, every occupier shall ensure so far as to reasonably practicable the health, safety, and welfare of all workers while they are at work in the factory. Okay, so section 7A itself says that it's the responsibility of a occupier to provide health and safety and welfare measures to the workers when they are at the work. Now let's see that in which act or in which labor law there are provision in regards to the operation of a canteen into the factory. Yes, section 46 of the Factory Act 1948 says that the state government may take rules requiring that in any specific factory wherein more than 250 workers are ordinarily employed, a canteen or canteens shall be provided and maintained by the occupier for the use of the workers. Yes. Section 46 of the Factory Act has certain provisions or principles in regards to the operation of a or the duty of an occupier to provide canteen facility to its workers. Okay, so where in any factory where 250 workers are employed during any day of the year, the canteen facility is mandatory to be provided to them by the employer. Now come to the point that what are the rules to set up a canteen into the factory, right? Number one, in factory for which workplaces are situated at a distance of more than 0.2 kilometer from the canteen. Next, the canteen should be situated not less than 15.2 meters from any latrine, urinals, boiler house, or coal stocks area, or dumps and any other source of dust and smoke and fumes. This is for the hygiene purpose. Next, canteen should be situated. All the walls and roof shall be of suitable, you know, and should be made of solid base. Now let's discuss about the resources required to establish a canteen. Right. Number one, efforts of the human resource, logistics, and trade union personnel means manpower is required. Next, food ordering and receiving process map. All the details should be displayed in the canteen area. Next, a room with sufficient space, light, and air. For the canteen, there is a requirement of a room which should be which should be equipped with sufficient space and lighting and air ventilation means. Next, sufficient equipment and tools for the canteen. Supervision of management. Floor shall be made of a smooth and impervious material. The doors and windows of a canteen building shall be of fly-proof construction and shall allow adequate ventilation. The canteen shall be sufficiently lighted at all times when any persons have access to it. So these are the requisite or the basic requirements or initial requirement to make a startup of a canteen. What is the process? First of all, company can own its canteen or can start its own canteen, but usually in many factories there is a contractor which runs a canteen. But if company or occupier or the management of a factory is going to hire a contractor or you know, going to have service of a contractor to run his canteen, initially there is a requirement of a certificate of FASSI, okay, which is very much mandatory to run a. So important licenses required for a canteen business. The number one, basic FASSI registration. Basic FASSI registration is required when you station your business with a 12 lakh turnover. Number two, FASSI state license. FASSI state license is required when you start your business with more than 12 lakh and up to 20 crore. So basically, FASSI registration is mandatory to run a canteen. FASSI is what? So after obtaining the FASSI certificates, there is the requirement of agreement, which is you know, done between the contractor and the occupier or the management after mutual agreed terms and conditions and signing by both the parties. So agreement is what? A contractor agreement is a legally binding document between two or more parties that defines and outlines the terms and conditions between the parties. A contractor agreement becomes legally binding when the two parties mutually sign upon that agreement, right? Obtaining FSI certificate means a canteen can be run by a company, association, or an individual. They need to obtain permission from the previous owner to run their business. They also need to have FASSI, Food Safety and Standard Authority of India license before they start the business. FASSI ensures that they serve the best food quality, right? So after having the FASSI certificate and contractor agreement, the canteen may start. To the LPG cylinder which is being takes place to operate the canteen, uh, as far as Section 37 of the Factories Act 1948 says, the Section 31 explosive or inflammable dust gas. If any dust gas, fumes, or vapors are produced in the manufacturing process, or practicable measures shall be taken to remove dust, gas, fumes, etc. So, in order to make use of LPG cylinder into the factory canteen, it is required to obtain the request or the permission for the same from the relevant authority. Now, there is a committee which, as per law, is mandatory to be, formed by the occupier in order to make a smooth running of a canteen into the factory premises. So, what is the name of this committee? This name of this committee is the canteen committee, right? So, let's discuss in brief about the canteen committee also. So, managing committee, the canteen managing committee shall consist of an equal number of persons nominated by the occupier and elected by the workers. The number of elected workers shall be in the proportion of 1 for every 1,000 workers employed in the factory, provided that no case shall there be more than 3 or less than 2 workers, more than sorry yeah, 2 workers on the committee. The manager shall determine and supervise the procedure for election in the canteen managing committee. A canteen managing committee shall be dissolved by the manager 2 years after the last election, no account being taken off by an election, right? So a canteen management committee is being formed where proportion of the representative of the same from the management side or occupier side or from the worker side. The tenure of this management canteen management committee is for next 3 years until it dissolves, right? And one member out of 1,000 workmen is mandatory uh, to take participate or to be a member of this committee, right? So let's discuss in brief about what are the Duties of this canteen management. What are the roles and responsibilities of canteen committee? Yes, a canteen committee is responsible for monitoring and operation of the canteen and implementing and reviewing the canteen policy. Okay, they may also be responsible for specific decisions as specified in the canteen policy, such as employing staff, authorizing major purchase, and authorizing changes in the menu. So basically, the main objective behind forming this committee and the major role or prime role of these canteen management committee members are the smooth running of the canteen while providing best quality food in subsidized rate and other conditions of the canteen should be in a proper manner, like how to maintain this canteen area neat and clean, proper lighting, emergency light, yellow lining, two gates, language of the canteen operators should be in manner enough, right? The regular meetings of this canteen management committee is being done takes place within the period of 3 months, and the registers and the record along with the photographs are required to be maintained by the occupier. In this meeting, various issues or points related to the canteen operation, like if there is any problem in making compliance of the canteen, in providing food in time, and if in rate list, in cleanliness of the canteen, lack of lighting, lack of air, lack of sitting capacity area is being discussed in this canteen committee meeting, and the points uh, upon which it's required that management must take appropriate action, the necessary action being taken by the management to resolve the issue in order to smooth functioning of the canteen and to provide the canteen facility to the workers as laid down under the Factory Act, right? Now come to the point that what are the role and responsibility of HR or administration personnel to in order to maintain or manage smooth functioning of the canteen in the factory. Yes, we should must start for this. The basic point is this: when the HR personnel they take the round of the canteen area, usually the employee thinks that, oh, HR persons I have no any other work just to waste their time into the canteen and in order to take the best quality of meal separately. But it's not the truth. The truth behind is that this is the major responsibility of HR personnel or admin personnel to manage the canteen at the its best level, right? As per the also to make or to uh, promise or to be adherent to the certain provisions which are to be maintained or required to be made as laid down in the labor law or the factory act, right? So the basic prime duties of HR or admin personnel are: number one, regular testing of food and water; next, inspection of kitchen and drinking permission premises, or means drinking water stations; inspection of kitchen surface equipments, cutting boards; proper pest and insect control measures; proper garbage disposal, right? These are the routine work. But beside this work, the HR personal work is to make regular health checkup of the canteen staff and personnel in order to ensure that they must not be carry any disease which is infectious. So this is also a responsibility of HR personnel. And the most last but not least, how to manage the attendance or gate entry of the canteen personnel, maintain their personal files, issue them their ID card. Okay, they must wear a cap in order to make compliance that no any piece of their hair should be a part of the lunch or breakfast of any worker and employees, and to maintain the cleanliness, and also to check the execution evacuation area. Many times we need to provide firefighting training to the employees and health and safety training, etc., to employees of the canteen, to workers also. So, okay, in this video, in brief, I have given you very small introduction of industrial canteen or factory canteen, how these canteens are to be managed. This topic is very wide, but what are the main instructions or guidelines which have been provided by the law as laid down in the Factory Act 1948? Yes, Section 7 ensures that the occupier needs to provide health and safety measures to the or welfare measures to its workers when they are at their duty. Next, Section 46 provides that if there is 250 and more workers they are working on any day preceding the year, there is a requirement of a canteen where worker can eat their food stuff, and they can also purchase food from the canteen in subsidized rate. Okay. Section 37 says that in regards to the like LPG cylinder which is being used by the canteen operators, so instructions how to make explosive, like a permission is required to be taken from the respective authority to make use of LPG cylinders, right? And for to establish or to start a canteen into the factory, first of all there is a requirement of a room or a building where all the workers can be sit during the lunch hours or during their tea time. They can make use of this facility, plus proper lighting, proper air ventilation, drinking water station, hand wash station, and the area, separate area where food is being made and served to the workers. Many companies they have token systems. They used to distribute the tokens to manage the expenditures of the workers, or the charges of the workers which are being deducted from their salaries, or emergency lights, yellow lining, zebra patti, sitting arrangement, chair and table, plus utensils, plus dustbin with cover. Also, all the food stuff should be covered with a clean, neat and clean piece of cloth. And the major compliance is that every canteen operator or the staff should wear cap, which are and the copy of FASSI certificate is to be displayed upon the canteen. Evacuation plan is to be displayed on the canteen. Rate list is mandatory to be displayed on the canteen in all the languages, like local language, English, and other state language. Suppose if I am in Tamil Nadu, so my factory is in Tamil Nadu, then instructions or rate list in Tamil language are also required to be displayed. Okay. And certain legal provisions or abstracts related to canteen as Section 46 of the Factory Act are required to be displayed. Moreover, some health and safety instructions and sitting instruction, some more instruction or do or don'ts are required to be displayed in the canteen, right? Last but not least, what are the do's and what are the don't do's instruction for the canteen? Do's: number one, be calm and don't sit in the canteen area to waste your time. Be present there during lunch and tea hours, and in case of emergency or in case of any need where you need a food or tea stuff, etc., you may go and take and drink and may come back, right? Next, uh, while sitting or taking lunch or in during tea time, it's mandatory that the provision of the clear yellow line should be maintained. Evacuation plan should be followed up, and two doors of the canteen should be open. Drinking water should have drinking water test certificate, which is required to be displayed. And the instruction or rate list of canteen are required to be displayed upon the notice board or in the canteen area. Emergency light should be duly in function and should be checked, and the checklist should be maintained for or displayed for the same. Next, behavior of the canteen operator staff should be well in manner. All the edible items should be covered by a clean piece of cloth. Yes, GST is applicable upon the canteen. 5% GST is applicable on the food stuff. as per the rate list. That's all. Don't all the some wine, bidi, cigarette, etc., gutka, tobacco, etc. should not be sold into the canteen. It should be strictly prohibited. Waste should not be thrown here and dona pattal should not, or glasses should not be thrown here and there into the canteen. Workers should not sit idle and make gossip into the canteen area. Moreover, both doors of the canteen should be open during the peak hours. In very short video, I have given you very vast information, good information. I tried at my level best to give about the canteen management into the factory. Hope you would like it. I'm waiting for your response. Thanks for watching my video and giving your precious time to this.